You can own a beautiful dress and still feel as if your midsection is the first thing everyone sees. And when that happens after 60, it is easy to blame your body, your age, or your confidence. But most of the time, the problem is not you. It is the architecture of the dress. Today, we are looking at dress strategies that soften the tummy area without shapewear, without squeezing, and without guessing in the fitting room. You will learn how structure, waist placement, length, fabric, and color can make a dress look smoother, more polished, and more expensive. And stay until the end because I will give you a 60-second dressing room test you can use before buying another dress. First, tell me where you are watching from, what time it is there, and which dress issue bothers you. Section 1. The first rule. Give the dress a frame before it gives you shape. Let us start with the first rule. Before a dress gives you shape, it needs to give you a frame. Many dresses look disappointing after 60 because they have no real structure. They hang from the body, collapse around the waist, and allow the softest part of the midsection to become the center of the outfit. That is not a body problem. That is a design problem. Look for dresses that create structure at the shoulders, neckline, or upper body. A shirt dress is a beautiful example because the collar, button front, and shoulder seam create a clean frame before the fabric ever reaches the stomach. A softly tailored dress with a defined shoulder line can do the same thing. You are not trying to make the body stiff. You are giving the outfit architecture. Cotton poplin, chambray, linen blends with a little body, ponte, and matte crepe are excellent choices because they skim instead of clinging. The fabric should stand slightly away from the body, especially through the waist and hip area. If it is so thin that it shows every waistband, curve, or fold underneath, it will not give you that polished effect. For a real outfit, picture a navy shirt dress that falls below the knee, tan low block sandals, a structured cream handbag, and simple gold hoops. Leave 1 or 2 lower buttons open if the dress allows it, because that creates movement and a subtle vertical line. If you prefer more coverage, add a light cropped jacket instead of a limp cardigan. Avoid dresses made from flimsy jersey with no shoulder shape, especially if the fabric stretches across the stomach. Before you worry about your waist, check whether the dress has a frame. A good frame also helps accessories make sense. When the neckline is open, a short necklace or polished earring has somewhere to live. When the shoulder line is clean, a jacket sits better. Even a simple dress begins to look styled instead of accidental. This is especially helpful when your posture has changed slightly because the dress creates lift before you even think about standing taller. Section 2. The diagonal line that makes a dress look more intentional. Now, let us talk about one of the most graceful visual tricks in dress styling, the diagonal line. A diagonal line is powerful because it moves the eye across the body instead of stopping it straight across the middle. This is why many women love wrap dresses, but the principle is bigger than one dress style. You can use diagonals in a wrap dress, a faux wrap dress, a surplice neckline, angled ruching, or even a side tie detail. The key is comfort and placement. If the wrap crosses too high, it can pull at the bust. If it ties too tightly at the softest part of the tummy, it can create exactly the focus you were trying to avoid. The most elegant version usually lets the diagonal skim from the upper body down toward the side of the waist or hip. It should guide the eye, not squeeze the body. Choose matte fabrics with drape, such as matte jersey, crepe, or a soft knit with recovery. Recovery simply means the fabric stretches a little, but returns to shape instead of bagging out. Stay away from shiny stretch fabrics because shine reflects light and can make the midsection look more noticeable. A burgundy faux wrap midi dress is a beautiful choice for dinner, church, or a family gathering. Add pointed toe flats, a small structured handbag, and a pendant necklace that keeps the eye lifted. If the neckline feels too open, use a small snap or a modest camisole underneath. But keep it smooth and close to your skin tone so it does not interrupt the line. The best part is that this does not need to be expensive. A clean faux wrap from a mid-range store can look more elegant than a costly dress if the diagonal falls beautifully. A tight horizontal seam says, "Look here." A soft diagonal says, "Keep moving." One more tip, pay attention to print direction. A small print that follows the diagonal or feels softly scattered is usually easier to wear than a print that forms a straight band around the waist. Let the pattern support the line instead of fighting it. Section 3. Choose skim, swing, or soft flare instead of cling. The next strategy is to choose skim, swing, or soft flare instead of cling. This is where many women get confused, because they're often told to go bigger if they want more coverage, but bigger is not always better. A dress can be loose and still look careless. The goal is not extra fabric everywhere. The goal is controlled movement. Fit and flare, A-line, trapeze, and soft swing dresses can all work beautifully after 60 when the shape is intentional. A fit and flare dress works best when the flare begins at a comfortable point and does not push outward directly from the tummy. An A-line dress can be wonderful because it narrows through the upper body and gradually opens toward the hem. A trapeze dress, when done well, is fitted at the shoulders and then swings out cleanly, creating an architectural shape instead of a tent. Length matters here. A midi dress, falling somewhere below the knee to mid-calf, often gives the most polished effect because it lets the eye travel downward. Pair that with a low-block heel, a refined flat, a wedge sandal, or a sleek loafer, and the whole outfit feels balanced. Heavy, bulky shoes can make a swing dress look bottom-heavy, so keep the shoe clean. Imagine a black ponte A-line midi dress with a camel jacket, pearl studs, and a low-block heel. It is simple, but it has shape. It does not hug the stomach, and it does not drown the body either. That is the sweet spot. Avoid very thin fabric that collapses, flares that begin too high and stick out, or oversized dresses with no neckline polish. The right amount of movement lets you relax in the dress instead of managing it all day. If you are petite, choose a softer flare rather than too much volume, and keep the hemline neat so the dress does not swallow you. If you are taller, you may be able to carry a wider trapeze shape beautifully, especially with a slightly elevated shoe and a strong earring. The fabric should move when you move, then settle back into a graceful shape. Section 4. Move the waistline where the body can breathe. Here is a truth that can free a lot of women. After 60, the most elegant waistline is not always your natural waist. Many dresses are designed as if every woman wants a seam directly across the middle of her torso. But if your waistline is softer now, or if you simply want more comfort, that seam can feel fussy, tight, or distracting. Instead, move the waistline where the body can breathe. An empire waist dress is one of the easiest ways to do this because the seam sits right under the bust, then the fabric falls away from the stomach. This does not mean the dress has to look maternity or shapeless. The secret is choosing a version with clean fabric, good length, and enough weight to fall smoothly. A softly raised waist can also work. So can a relaxed tie waist, as long as the tie is not pulled tight. Think of the tie as a suggestion, not a rope. If the fabric bunches, strains, or creates little folds across the tummy, loosen it or skip it. A low-contrast belt in the same color family as the dress is usually more flattering than a bold belt that cuts the body in half. For a beautiful, real-life outfit, try a deep teal empire midi dress with metallic sandals, a delicate bracelet, and an ivory wrap. It would work for dinner, church, a wedding shower, or a family celebration. And the best part is how it feels when you sit, walk, and eat. There is no constant adjusting, no holding your stomach in, and no feeling punished by your clothes. This is not about hiding your waist. It is about choosing where the dress creates harmony. If you like definition, create it with a seam, a soft tie, or a jacket that ends near the high hip, instead of forcing a tight belt. A cropped cardigan, denim jacket, or linen blazer can suggest shape while leaving the center of the dress smooth and comfortable. The dress should let you breathe first. The polish comes from that ease. Section 5. Use length and hemline to create one long, elegant column. Now let us look at length, because a dress can have the right waist and still look unfinished if the hemline cuts the body in the wrong place. Length controls how the eye travels. When the hemline stops at an awkward point, the whole outfit can feel choppy. When the length is right, the body reads as one longer, calmer line. For many women over 60, the most reliable dress length is below the knee to mid-calf. That range gives coverage without feeling heavy, and it often looks more elegant than a dress that stops at the widest part of the knee. A midi dress can make even a simple outfit look more expensive because the extra length creates flow. Maxi dresses can also be stunning, but they need the right fabric and proportion. A maxi should move, not drag. It should fall close enough to the body to create a column, but not so close that it clings. Side slits, front seams, button plackets, and vertical prints can help break up the fabric and keep the look light. Shoes matter here. A refined flat can work with a midi dress if the toe shape is clean. A low block heel or wedge can lift a maxi dress just enough so it does not feel overwhelming. For fall, a sleek ankle boot under a midi dress can look modern and polished, but avoid heavy shoes that visually stop the line, especially with softer dresses. Picture a chocolate brown column maxi dress with a cream cropped jacket, gold earrings, and tan wedge sandals. Nothing is loud, but everything is intentional. You could walk into brunch, church, or a dinner by the water and look relaxed, vertical, and elegant without adjusting your outfit every 5 minutes. A quick fitting room check is to look at your ankles and shoes together. If the hem stops at a place that makes your legs look shortened, try 1 or 2 inches longer or shorter. Often that tiny change is the difference between ordinary and polished. When in doubt, take a quick photo from the front and side. Section 6. Let color, print, and paneling do quiet work. Finally, let color, print, and paneling do some quiet work for you. Sometimes the cut of a dress is good, but the color placement makes the midsection louder than it needs to be. The eye follows contrast. That means a bright band around the waist, a large print centered on the stomach, or shiny fabric across the middle can draw attention exactly where you do not want it. Instead, choose color placement that creates softness and direction. Darker side panels can make the body look more streamlined. A vertical color block can make the torso appear longer. Small-scale prints can soften the surface of the dress without overwhelming it. Rich, solid colors such as navy, chocolate, burgundy, forest green, black, and deep plum often look polished and expensive after 60 because they feel grounded and refined. Prints can be beautiful, but they need discipline. Look for soft vertical movement, narrow spacing, or subtle patterns. Be careful with large horizontal prints that run across the stomach. They can interrupt the line and make a perfectly good dress feel wider. You can also lift attention upward with a face-framing detail. Gold hoops, pearl studs, a beautiful lipstick, a soft scarf, or a neckline in a flattering color can keep the outfit from feeling heavy. The goal is not to make the dress disappear. The goal is to decide what gets noticed first. And yes, a more fitted dress can work after 60 if the fabric is substantial, the length is elegant, and the paneling is strategic. A dark green paneled midi dress with black slingback flats, a structured black handbag, and gold hoops can look confident and refined. Tell me in the comments, do you feel best in solid colors, soft prints, or color-blocked dresses? If your hair is silver, white, blonde, brunette, or dyed darker, use the dress color to support your face. Navy and deep plum can soften the complexion. Chocolate can feel richer than flat black. And burgundy can add warmth without looking loud or forced. Keep the strongest contrast away from the widest point of the torso. Bonus: the 60-second dressing room test for dresses after 60. Now here's your bonus: the 60-second dressing room test for dresses after 60. Use this before you buy a dress, and also use it in your own closet before you donate something too quickly. First, check the frame. Look at the shoulders, neckline, and upper body. Does the dress lift attention toward your face, or does everything collapse around the middle? If there is no frame, you will usually need a jacket, jewelry, or a better neckline to help it. Second, check the fabric. Turn slightly in the mirror. Sit down if you can. Does the fabric skim and return to shape, or does it cling, wrinkle, or stretch thin? A dress that only looks good when you stand perfectly still is not a real-life dress. Third, check the waist placement. Is the seam, tie, or belt sitting where your body can breathe? If you immediately want to pull, tug, or cover that area, the dress is not supporting you. Fourth, check the hemline with real shoes, not imaginary heels you never wear. Real flats, sandals, wedges, or boots from your actual life. Fifth, add one face-brightening detail. Earrings, lipstick, a pendant, glasses, or a scarf can change the whole outfit. A dress does not need to be expensive to pass this test. It only needs to be intentional. Finally, ask yourself one honest question. Would I still feel polished in this dress after 2 hours of real life? If the answer is yes, that dress deserves your attention. You do not need shapewear, discomfort, or younger rules to look elegant in a dress after 60. You need better structure, softer movement, smarter waist placement, graceful length, and color that works for you. Your body is not the problem. The dress simply has to respect the woman wearing it. If this helped, comment polished and free. Like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell for more real body style after 60. Remember, style now is refinement, not retreat.